Thank you, Sir David, and it's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. I also thank my honourable friend for presenting this debate today. It really is a pressing issue, which is underlined by the significant level of support for this petition. I know many from my own constituency in Redcar and Cleveland are concerned by the daily arrival of boats on our shores, bringing more and more illegal immigrants to this country in an unsafe, unlawful route. I previously raised this issue in my local newspapers and local media, and I was lambasted by local Labour politicians for commenting on issues 300 miles from the sandy shores of Redcar and Mask. However, the fact that 311 of my constituents have signed this petition, more than anyone else speaking in this debate today, shows the strength of feeling. And over the summer, it was the number one issue in my inbox. So I won't take any lectures from the Labour Party, particularly when they don't even come to a debate on this, for speaking up for my constituents. And maybe their silence on this is why Redcar elected its first ever Tory MP in December. Now, I want to start by saying that the safest, most humane, most compassionate thing we can do for any person wanting to cross the channel illegally is to stop them getting in the boat. It cannot be right that vulnerable people are charged thousands of pounds to be loaded into a dinghy meant for 20 people with 40 others without life jackets and then pushed into the open sea in the hope that they will reach Britain. 2 people have died this year attempting these crossings, and it's thanks to our Coast Guard, our lifeboats, our Royal Navy, UK Border Force that many more haven't faced the same fate. Despite our best efforts to make this route unviable, and I commend the actions of my right honourable friend, the Home Secretary, and the Minister, who has graciously spoke with me a number of times about this, these arrivals have rapidly increased, with more than 7,000 this year, and urgent measures are needed to stop the flow. I also want to pay tribute to my honourable friend, the member for Dover, who couldn't be here today, but who worked incredibly hard alongside the Home Office, and I commend her for that. It's not acceptable that it should be so easy for criminal gangs to profit from other people's desperation and prevent those genuinely fleeing persecution from finding safe refuge. Our asylum system is clogged, overwhelmed with requests, and while applicants wait for an outcome, we should bear in mind that regardless of the legitimacy of their claim, they are housed and fed, as is right for them to be, but at the expense of the taxpayer. Now, no one is arguing that legitimate and genuine asylum seekers shouldn't be able to find safe refuge in the UK. We are a country with a proud record of providing asylum to those seeking safety from war zones and persecution. But right now, we are simply failing to do so. Our asylum system is being hijacked by individuals who deliberately intend to abuse our generosity. This needs to end. It is unacceptable that genuine asylum seekers, and it is unacceptable to our own constituents, like mine in Redcar and Cleveland, who are paying their taxes and seeing it squandered on false asylum claims. People who are genuinely seeking a safe refuge could and should claim asylum in the first country they reach. However, before crossing the Channel, many will have already registered as an asylum seeker in another EU country and travelled through France and various other countries to get to our shores. I believe that the route will continually be abused until we make it unviable to those who seek to abuse it. To that end, I believe our approach should be twofold. We need to properly resource the National Crime Agency, UK Border Force and the police to root out the people smugglers and the organised crime gangs who perpetuate this form of illegal immigration. And secondly, we should adopt an Australian-style approach to illegal immigration, whereby we intercept a vessel, ensure the safety of its passengers, then return it to the shores from which it left. It is only by doing so that we will prove to those seeking to cross into the UK that this route is unviable and in turn starve the people smugglers of their funds from this abusive practice. I know that many organisations are already doing an incredible job cracking down on those criminal gangs alongside the French authorities, and I welcome arrests that the Minister has previously announced from the dispatch box. But can I urge ministers to go further and do everything they can to make sure the French authorities are stopping people attempting to make the crossing in the first place. And can I also urge them to push for joint operations to intercept boats at sea and make sure they are returned safely. We must take this problem seriously and make sure anyone who breaks the law faces the full consequence, or else we risk failing those who genuinely need our help. And I want to finish as I started, Sir David, by saying that the safest and most humane and most compassionate thing we can do for any person wanting to cross the channel illegally is to stop them getting in the boat. Thank you.